Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad you guys are on today. We have another power couple this week, and I love them. They're just like my own. We're all pretty much family. So, everybody, get ready to share the feed. We're on here today with the Effect Project, empowering families and educating communities. We want to talk to you a little bit about the wealth transfer. So, for those that are logging on, please go ahead and share the feed. I look forward to what we have today. Let me make sure it's online so I can share. It should be on both pages. Good morning. Where you guys are chiming in from? Make sure we're on. Okay, I don't even see it on my own page. All right, let's see. All right, make sure you share the feed. Okay, we have 12 people on. Kenneth Brown, Tanya McWilliams. Tanya, oh, your phone call. Ingram from Mobile, Alabama. From my, well, not my hometown, but close by. Austin, Texas. Molly. Molly, I miss you. The infamous Randy Webb. Good morning. Good morning. You guys, if you could share this feed, do a watch party. I would be forever grateful. You don't want to miss this. We want to make sure that we're getting out to the masses, talking about educating and empowering families. We want to talk a little bit about the wealth transfer. For those that don't know, those that are just hopping on, my name is Dr. Kathy Kirkland. I reside here in Texas. I'm a co-pastor of a church here called Temple of Faith, alongside my husband, Dr. Marky Kirkland. He likes his middle name. And I've been evangelizing for over 25 years. And when I first got started in this, in the Forex market, was at an inopportune time for me. I used to be a real estate agent, and I used to have my own property management company called First Impressions Properties. And when the real estate market crashed, my whole world crashed right along with you, and right along with it, along with my 401k. So when I was first introduced to this, it was right when I needed it the most because I was about to lose everything. Everything. I had lost all my properties from real estate, and I had four kids in college, a 4-year old, and a husband who was just retiring from the military after 25 years of service. And we were living off a half a check. And when I found out that trading foreign currency was a God written skill set, according to Ecclesiastes 11 and 1, the Good News Translation states that it is good to enter into foreign trade because you never know what bad luck this world is going to give you. I then knew that I was in a man made company with a God written skill set. And we have some people that we have on today that are going to talk about how Forex empowered their family, and they are actually educating communities all over the world. And today we have our very own Chairman Tins, Dwayne and Shania Lodge. Dwayne and Shania, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you.
That's an inside joke, so we're gonna leave it like that. Okay. Aloha from Hawaii. We have a lot of people on. We have Austin, Texas, Alabama, have some London, Hawaii. We have some people on. And so, guys, I want to introduce you to Dwayne and Shania. I call her Naya, from Florida. They're out of Florida right now. And they want to talk to you. They're going to tell you a little bit about their story, give you a little bit of background about them. And Dwayne, if you can, let them know how you were introduced to Forex, what it's done for you and your family, and how it has, well, I'm gonna stop because I'm gonna tell all your story, and then you won't have nothing to tell. But Dwayne, so how? Give your story, share your story.
Yeah, so thank you first and foremost for having us on this call. It's an honor to be, sitting beside you, I guess, virtually on this call.
Hey, we're practicing social distancing. So normally I would be with you guys. I was supposed to be with you in 2 states this month.
I know. We had a whole schedule mapped out, but I can touch you across the thing. But,
yeah, there you go.
But anyway, no, it really is an honor because you guys got to really understand when Naya and I first heard about trading in the markets. We had one little peek at trading in the markets, but we were so skeptical. I'll say I was so skeptical because she didn't even really know about it. I had pretty much one of our neighbors that had introduced me to trading in the markets, and this woman was doing incredible. She invited me to see this and beautiful house, and I walked in her house thinking whatever she's selling, I'm buying. But she started talking to me about these charts and stuff, and honestly, it turned me off. I'm like, what is she talking about? I don't know about these charts. I'm a college dropout. I don't have a college degree. I dropped out, because of the math classes. To be honest, that was my last college course, was a math class. And she had a beautiful house, and obviously she was rich, but I was skeptical, and I didn't do it. Anyway, long story short, it came back around, and somebody showed us a live. It's funny, we're on a live. We were on a live, and it was you. It was. I'll do it this way. It was you.
Okay, all right, let me turn this. Yeah.
It was you, and we got excited because we really needed something. I had already been an entrepreneur and was doing okay, but all of that had got stripped away from me. If anybody on this call has ever lost it before, maybe you've gone backwards in your finances, or you've gone backwards in your bank account, or I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real with you. You're going backwards and maybe some foreclosure, or maybe you lost a house or a car. Like I've been there. We literally, I remember calling her like, "Hey, babe, where the car at?" I don't know. What you mean? Where is it? I'm like, it's not outside. Where is the car?
Oh, you didn't do like me. I let my friend hold mine because I was gonna help God figure it out. I couldn't get that.
We did the same thing.
I would have did that. I promise. I didn't know. I thought they'd just say, okay, you owe us. So, when you get it, let me know. I'm like, okay, I'm going to call you as soon as I get it.
Shanika said she even did it too. They raising their hands. So we're having real conversations about real situations, and we're going to show you how to get out of it. But go ahead, Dwayne.
Oh, that's just the real, and that's exactly what was going down. So when we came back around and we saw somebody, I don't even understand exactly, but we got onto a live stream and it was you. And honestly, it was the realest conversation that I had heard. I had been in business for years, and everything I had ever done was salesy, pitchy. It was, kind of, trying to persuasion, all of this stuff, and you were just up there just keeping it real. Like, listen, y'all, I done went backwards, and I'm not doing backwards no more. I had to attach myself to something that was powerful. I don't have time for small moves. I need something powerful that can get me not just back on my feet, but way further ahead. And you was just preaching the right language, and I said, oh my goodness, I think we found it. So once we saw you on that live, you were our introduction to it. And then, I don't know if you were already a millionaire at the time, but by the time, we got involved, you were like knocking down millions. And my thing was, not only were you doing well, but you had helped other people. And that's what this call is about. You had helped other people, and I just fell in love with it. So I want Naya to kind of share a little bit.
Well, at first he was skeptical because he first said no. He was like, "Oh, you're not doing that." So I was like, "Oh, yes, we are."
Because I before. I was like, "Oh, that's that thing with the charts and the numbers."
Like,
and I was like,
"I know what it is." I was like, "Well, you ain't tell me." So I was like, we're doing this. So I was like, we're gonna have her help. I know you were talking about, investing in oil wells and things like that, and that's just something that I would want for my family. So I was like, what do we really have to lose? We already lost everything.
Right.
So I was like, we're doing this, and because of that decision that we both made to do it, it totally changed our life. At the time, like when we saw it, we literally had just lost our cars. We lost the house, we lost everything. So it was kind of more of a, God just pointing us in the right direction with the right leadership, and saying this is, your way to start over and really handle your finances the right way.
Right. What I love about you too is when Dwayne was hesitant about starting, Naya wasn't. You didn't stop her from starting because, as a couple, you have to be with one accord. You have to be with one accord, and there's no disrespect from one to the other. When you put together, you enhance each other. But some people will not move unless they get the permission and the okay. All you're doing is learning a skill set.
That's right.
This is the educational platform. So I'm glad you did, because in Proverbs 31, now y'all know I'm a pastor, so you you know, if you don't want to hear it, you might not want to be on this page, because to me this is ministry. A Proverbs 31 woman rises up early and a family calls her blessed. And after she gives out instructions to everybody in the house, she gathers her things and she goes into the market and she trades. So a wise woman knows how to build her house. A foolish one knows how to tear it down. And even when the husband is bringing the money in, now this is a whole nother conversation. I don't even know what's here. You have to know how to manage it, because I know, Dwayne, if you're bringing in money and she's just throwing it out the door and it's not benefiting anything, then she's not a help to you.
That's
A
right.
help me is somebody that knows how to take little and multiply it and make it a whole lot.
That's
So I'm
right.
so proud of you, May. I just want to say that, because she's my goddaughter.
I mean,
I just want to put that out there.
you're right. I mean, this ain't just some old words in the old book, y'all. I mean, like, this is real life, So I mean, and that's one of the reasons why. And I'm gonna be totally transparent on this call. Again, this wasn't really the goal of this call, probably, but
Right.
and listen, I've been in relationships, and it wasn't that way. It wasn't that way. So that was one of the major things where I'm like, oh no, I gotta reel her closer. I gotta reel her in closer.
You got a gem there. You got a gold mine.
Right. So I appreciate that.
So now I noticed you said earlier somebody else had introduced this to you a while back. This was introduced to me first in 2006, and I missed my season.
Wow.
And it literally took 10 years for
Wow.
my season to come back for me again
Wow.
in order for me to get it. Now, during that time, the market had crashed right around in 2008.
That's right.
So I struggled until 2016, nickeling and diming it. So when you were first introduced to it, you was talking about how complicated, you liked the house and whatever she was selling, you was buying. But then when she showed you what she was doing, it was a quick turn off.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get intimidated by the charts, but trading is as simple as a red line crossing the blue line. So I tried to make it real simple. So the second time you saw it, sometimes you got to take a second look.
That's right.
So if you looked at it once, it's time for you to take a second look.
That's right.
Okay, so let's talk about that when you first started again.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I can only be honest. We got started, but the first attempt of doing it, I never forget that first night, the first attempt. We're on the call with you, and you're giving us the instructions, and I still must have jacked it up because I didn't, it wasn't working for me. So I'm just being honest. I threw my phone across the couch, and I said, "Babe, we're not doing this." I said, "We're not doing this." So I mean. Anybody who's listening and you're like, oh, here they go talking about that chart stuff again. I get it. I get it. I said no before we joined. We joined. I tried it. We tried it. I threw my phone and said, I'm not doing this. So
You're so aggressive, Dwayne.
I'm just being honest, and but she picked it back up and she was like, no, because I always say she's the smart one, but she was like, no, we just started. Let's keep trying. Because we had heard the stories. We heard that people making money. That's what y'all want to hear sometimes, right? We heard that people, and this is no income claims, guys, but these are the stories that we were hearing. What I'm getting ready to say does not guarantee this is going to be your story, but here's the stories that I heard. When we were coming in, we were hearing people were having $1,000 days, $2,000 days, $10,000 days. I know a friend that's in this community who just had a six-figure day in this space just last week. It's not six-figure year, six-figure day in this space. So as much as I was intimidated, I was like, no, we got to keep going, and I'm thankful that she kept, pushing. But again, that's just the honest truth, So now things are totally different, but I want you to go ahead and share too. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm like, when we first saw this, I mean, sometimes someone maybe in this space too is like, we thought we were doing really well. So it wasn't like, we needed to do something else. It would have just been something extra, right? We're already doing well where we were. We had the beautiful home, mansions and cars and stuff like that. and we were just content. We were comfortable where we were. So to do something outside of what we were already doing was like, why would we do that when we're already renting where we are? So I think, you know, someone might be in that, you know, space right now and say, you know what, I'm already having 6-figure, you know, years, right? I mean, already have, even if you already have 6-figure days, right? But sometimes you need that that you can diversify. So I mean, with this, guys, we've been able to trade and, you know, been able to cross the market. We also make money.
I heard that.
Yeah, I love that.
Just got another trade. Go ahead.
Yeah, we also profit marketing wise, but we've also been able to, you know, invest in other businesses too. So we've been able to diversify, you know, what we've been doing. So I mean, this has really been a blessing. We've learned the hard way that, you know, only having 1 or 2 income streams is not enough, especially with what's going on right now.
Preach, girl. Preach.
Now I like that because and we talked about all of that when you guys first signed up, because it's like, you know, because I had been there. I had all my eggs in one basket. It was just straight real estate. I had no backup. I had no other income coming in to diversify. I couldn't work as many jobs to keep up with what I had, you know, out there as far as the properties. When people started downsizing and things like that, I couldn't keep up with the properties. So with this, Forex has been able to help us to diversify income, you know, investing in oil wells, buying gold and silver, real estate, you know, properties. Now I'm not an agent, I flip properties, doing that, and, you know, and starting other businesses, you know, I know you guys have a couple of other businesses. You know, I have a child care facility. I have an academy. I have an event planning business. You know, a lot of things, and that's helped me a whole lot to keep money coming in. So the beautiful thing about this is this time around, it's not dictating to my house. The recession is not dictating my house. Plus, I'm able to still back my companies with Forex to where my employees are not struggling.
Right.
Not struggling or missing any money or anything like that. So, you guys, Dwayne, talk about your first job. We had a little conversation about that. That was hilarious. I didn't even know that. I thought you came out the gate entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit, but it just it didn't really, you know, necessarily totally go my way. You know, I've always wanted to work for myself. I had always been trying to do stuff. Like, I literally was a kid with a lemonade stand. Like, I literally did. Anybody on this call, actually, like, when you were in school, you were like an entrepreneur in school? Like, anybody sell candy in school?
Yeah, I was gonna say, we took bags of candy to school. I even did my kids like that.
Exactly, right? You know, so that's always been in me. But, you know, I never really got rich, you know, but I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit. So, you know, my first attempt to really be an entrepreneur, I did okay, but then I lost that company, and that sent me back to go live with my family. So here I am, 21 years old. I'm grown, 22 years old, college dropout, grown, and I'm living back home with my mom. And mom don't play, you know. So, you know, all this.
You're a man. You better get out there.
You gotta go figure something out, you know. So here I am working jobs. Like, you know, I was cashier, any job that would hire me, you know. I'm ringing people up, you know. I never forget the sound, you know.
Yeah.
I never forget the sound, you know. Like, I'm bringing people up. But that was it. That was my last straw. I'm like, this is not me. I'm grown. I'm 22 years old. I got to figure something out, and that's what fired me up. So maybe somebody right now listening to that story, hopefully that fires you up, right? Maybe you're doing something that, you know, maybe there's a sound in your head from your job you can't wait to get away from, right? I know for me, to be honest, like, I'm being totally transparent. I used to sit in my lunch break rooms, and I used to just sit there like, how did I end up in this little break room? I used to just sit there like, this can't be what I'm going to do for the next 30, 40, 50 years. I'm like, this can't be my surroundings. That's why I say I'm honored to be surrounded with you. Like, I'm honored to be right here sitting next to you, because I used to sit in break rooms next to people who were not multimillionaires and impacted families and communities. They were just ringing people up at the register next to me. You know, so I would pay whatever it costs to be in this space. I pay the money just to be in this type of surrounding. It ain't even about the services. I just want to be at the table with y'all.
Listen, so guys, share the feed, start your watch party. We're not knocking jobs. because you got to have seed money in order to do something. On your job, you should have at least 10% of that set aside for you to invest in something else. Okay, because we can waste money, but we're showing you how to do it. Now, Dwayne went from, scanning things, boop, 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 and collecting money, and he's still collecting money, but this time it's going into his pocket and not into somebody else's company. So he's doing the same thing. So you went from making, I say, maybe 18,000 a year.
Yeah, minimum wage.
Minimum wage. And that's high in Florida, and I know the cost of living in Florida is a little higher than where I'm at. Went from that. Let's talk about where you started from in the company and where you are now. Just on the other, not your trading, not the trading, but just where you're at now.
Yeah, well, my heart is with people, family. I mean, like for me, like if you guys can tell, I kind of talk with a level of passion. Like I really have a heart for people. Even me getting into this space was never just about me. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about my money too. Don't get it twisted. Like I'm definitely about fueling my pockets. But I love the title here, empowering families and educating communities, because it's bigger than just us. We could go get rich trading and sit on the hill somewhere, and y'all never know how we did it. But what sense does that make?
Even with doing this, Dwayne. Did you ever think that you would meet people in the countries? You're in different countries. You're not just using your zip code.
That's nothing but God. The fact that we were able to say yes to this space and be diligent over this space, we've been able to connect with people all around the world. I mean, I have some of the closest people to me right now are all the way across the water, all the way across the world, and we've been like close as brothers. In Europe, in London, in Birmingham, in Germany, in South Africa, in Canada, right? All these different areas, so it's been a blessing. I mean, again, I just told you, sitting in break rooms, with fellow cashiers, nothing wrong with that. But now we're sitting on global platforms.
There you go. It's bigger than your zip code.
Oh my
God. Way bigger than your zip code. Sometimes you have to think outside of the box. And if it wasn't for them having that desire. Now, let me say this. Everybody on here, I know you have a desire to be further along than where you're at. Now, for me, it was like, I know that there's more to this than where I'm at. Right. It got to be more to this than where I'm at. And like Dwayne was saying, sharing the feed. Okay, y'all, I'm teaching ninth grade. Come on. I'm teaching ninth grade at the same time, so I got to check these grades.
Which you on that?
We get it.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead. Keep talking while I...
Let me finish out what she had asked too, because she asked where were we and where we are now. Not only are we global, I mean, I know sometimes people like to just hear numbers, and I'm not going to say specific numbers, but I used to make $10 an hour when I was a cashier. All right. I know right now we're earning 10 times more than what we used to make, in that particular space. So to be able to have my income 10x, that's just God. All right. And so many people are looking to increase right now, especially in this season. And right now, this is, just so you guys know, if you're on this call and you have no idea about this investing space, about this currency market space, well, this is the largest financial marketplace in the world. There is nothing larger than it, So if you want to play life big financially, this is the biggest financial game to play, But Anaya, go ahead and talk a little bit from the female's perspective. Talk to the people.
Yes. I work jobs too. If somebody can probably relate to this. I was in a call center. So I was working in a call center and, making $10 an hour plus bonuses, right? Bonuses was like the thing. Like if I get a bonus check, that was fire. So, being able to come from that space, like looking at past, tax returns, just like $20,000 a year, and then being where we are now, it's totally different from, where we were then. Especially me, I was a teen mom, so I had to grow up quickly. I had a daughter to take care of, and I really had to focus on her well-being, food stamps and all of that. Like I need food stamps to feed her, wig and all of that, So to be able in a position now where, I no longer have to rely on food stamps, to eat, that's a major blessing because we came a long way. I grew up on food stamps. I grew up on that, that lifestyle. Like having food stamps was like, you don't have food stamps? Like, what's wrong with you? You better go apply. So, being in the space now where, that no longer is like a conversation is a big deal to me because that's not where I come from. I come from a family that we were definitely well put, like we were together. I have families that went to college and they had jobs, but it's just those jobs were not enough. I remember being evicted, as a child and relying on the Salvation Army for presents. During Christmas time. So being in a space now where, I can buy my daughter, presents for Christmas and, be able to constantly provide for her, that's a big deal to me without government assistance.
And we've all been there. And I remember when I first had to go, do that, I felt bad because I felt like I couldn't provide for myself. I didn't want to rely on anybody else.
Right.
And my mom wasn't here anymore. At first I was relying on her because she took care of school clothes every year. She took care of Christmas every year. We could only afford the everyday necessities, food, water, lights, shelter, all of that. So we've all been there. We all, a lot of you that's on here, you're probably there right now. And what we're trying to do is show you how we changed. We changed. Now, you see these degrees in the background? I'm pretty smart. I'll say that. But I was not smart concerning the recession. I have a associate's degree in theology, a master's in business management, a master's in HR, and a PhD in philosophy. All of those degrees taught me how to go to school and get a good job.
Right.
It didn't teach me how to make money work for me. I Am Mastery Academy teaches you how to make money work for you. If I told you what I had to pay every semester just to get this little piece of paper on the wall that I don't work in none of these degrees.
Wow.
None of them.
Wow.
Compared to getting started now for $235.
Ain't that something?
Right.
$235 compared to
real quick. I look back all the time. Like when I get into like my super grateful, moments, and I'm just sitting there in gratitude, because we make, in my eyes, we make a lot of money, and when I get in my super gratitude moments, I look back and I say the same thing. I'm just like, imagine if I wouldn't have spent that $200.
Yes.
Yes. $200.
And what's crazy though is like, I'm pretty young, so this is kind of, I guess, like my first recession as an adult. Okay, so for me, like a lot of people are stressed out right now. Like a lot of people have income, they're relying on unemployment, and honestly, for us, this is the most money we made during this recession.
Right.
And like a lot of people can't say that, and that's a blessing. Like I don't take that for granted. Like I'm in a space where not only am I still having income coming in, but I'm also making more than what I was making before this recession. So that's a big deal off of a $200 investment, $235 investment. To
learn a skill set,
exactly.
To learn a skill set, plus to learn how to make money work for you, and you don't work for it. Brandon Boyd said it best. Are you willing to spend $6 a day to be financially free?
That's right.
Because that's all it costs is $6 a day. Sure. And if you bring, how the Army have a buddy system? If you bring 2 people in with you to go to school with you to hold you accountable, then you don't have to pay $6 a day. Your tuition is free. You can't beat that. I wish I had that when I was doing all this.
Right.
Trying to get a good job. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. We really appreciate it. And get back with the person that invited you to their feed. If you're on their watch party, if you're on mine, get back with me. If you're on Dwayne and Naya, follow us on Instagram. My Instagram is Dr._Kathy_Kirkland. And Dwayne, what's yours?
It's Dwayne W. Lodge. You can get us both right there. So, yep.
At Dwayne W. Lodge. Follow us on Instagram. We look forward to working with you. If you sign up with Dwayne, you're technically on my team. If you sign up with me, you got me personally and directly.
Right.
So guys, thank you so much for joining in, Dwayne and Naya. I love you guys so much. Y'all stay safe. I appreciate you so much. You guys have a great day.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you, Dr. Catherine. Thank you. Love you, girl. Thank you.